Hey everybody, this is Anthony's Horror More, and I just got out of seeing the movie Halloween Ends, and I just wanted to do a quick, non-spoiler review, and then maybe I'll do a spoiler part towards the back half. The movie literally just came out. I saw a very early showing of it today. The first showing of it, and the theater wasn't even packed, which was kind of nice. Um, so non-spoiler, I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was really good. I definitely liked it better than Kills. Um, because just so people know where I'm at with this whole thing. I really liked Halloween 2018. That's actually my favorite of the trilogy. I thought that was very well done, except for the characters are kind of like, but that's like throughout these three movies, this trilogy. The characters are kind of like, they don't always like seem like real people. You know what I mean? They don't talk like real people talk. That's kind of what I miss about like 70s, 80s type movies. I think they just kind of talk like how normal people talk, and now in the current times we're in and stuff like that, people have just like these, like no one talks like the way these guys talk in these movies. You know what I mean? It's just not. But it's all right. I mean, I can forgive it. But I really dug Halloween 2018. That's my favorite. Kills was a huge disappointment when I first saw it. When I came out of the theater, I was very upset at that movie. After a couple subsequent viewings, I learned to like it. I just root for Michael the entire time because I think everybody else in the movie is pretty fucking annoying. Um, with some exceptions, I like Hawkins. I thought Hawkins was a good character. But I just think a lot of those characters in Halloween Kills were just so stupid. I mean, it's just like, so I didn't really feel bad when Michael was fucking killing them all off. I was like, but the thing I love about these new movies is they get Michael Myers right. So, like, it's just, James Jude Courtney just does such a phenomenal job of playing Michael Myers that it's just, he's just so good at it. Um, and I think the directing is really good. I think the cinematography is great. I think the overall aesthetic, that Halloween look and everything, I think um, David Gordon Green captures really well. The director. Um, the dialogue is iffy. I know parts of that are because of like Danny McBride. You can see his little jokey stuff kind of getting in there. I'm not a big fan of that. I like Danny McBride. Don't get me wrong. Like The Righteous Gemstones is a fantastic show. Check that out. Eastbound and Down, The Principals, and then just all the movies he's been in, like Tropic Thunder and Your Highness and all that. I think he's hilarious, but it's just it doesn't fit. His tone doesn't really fit with Halloween. It's not all bad. Some of it's funny, but for the most part, I'm like, but David Gordon Green does a really good job directing these movies, in my opinion. I think, and they look great. I mean, they really do look great. And I love in Halloween Kills, I will say this about Halloween Kills, that opening like 10-15 minutes when it flashes back to 1978 is fantastic. I loved all that. Kind of wish the whole movie was that. um, um, but this movie, talking about Halloween Ends now, I thought it was really good. It was a little slow to start. I'll say that it's a bit slow to start. The opening is actually really good, but then after the opening happens, and then it transitions over to other characters that we know and stuff, it kind of slows down. And I get it. You got to reintroduce us to all these guys and see where they've been, because it's like 4 years later. So you got to kind of like, you know, you got to do that whole thing. I actually love the opening to this movie. I won't spoil anything or anything like that, but I did love the opening. The opening to this movie is really good. The but then, like I said, it kind of slows down. This is by far the most I've liked Allison, though. This movie, I think I would like Allison the most. um, I really enjoy some of the new characters and stuff that are introduced. Um, And I'm just trying to think of what I could say without spoiling anything. This is kind of a difficult film to talk about without spoiling, I'll be honest. They did a good job with the trailers, with kind of like a misdirection and stuff like that, so it's very hard. And I want you to go into it as blind as possible, honestly. I really don't want to give anything away because it was fun though. I liked it had a good feel, especially like the middle part and the third act. Like the second and third act are where the movie really shines. I think there are going to be a lot of people that do not like this movie though. I'll be honest with you. I think this movie is going to get a lot of hate. I haven't watched any reviews. I haven't read any reviews or anything like that, but I can just tell. I'm like, this movie, and this is coming from me. I didn't like Kills when I first saw it. So, but I did enjoy this movie quite a bit. But I can tell people are not gonna dig it. There are gonna be like diehard fans and people that just are not gonna like the vibe of this movie. I think it's gonna get hate for sure. But you know what? The funny thing about it is there's so many horror movies that are like that, where they get a lot of hate and then years later they're respected and renowned. Like look at Halloween 3: Season of the Witch. People fucking hated that movie when it first came out. Hated it, despised it. There's not a strong enough word. Like people hated Halloween 3. Loathed it. You know what I mean? But now everybody loves it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's the cool thing now to love Halloween 3. And I do. I like Halloween 3. I think it's fun. But there's a lot of movies like that. Look at Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning. I really enjoy that movie. I think it's a really fun time, but there's a lot of people out there that don't like it because of, I won't spoil anything, but because of the ending, you know what I mean? And but now a lot of people like that movie. You know what I mean? Like years later, you hear a lot of people talking about, oh yeah, I love A New Beginning. It's fun. It's sleazy and it's fun, whatever. It's like you just get a lot of stuff. I think this trilogy will be kind of one of those where it's like years later people go watch it because it really is its own thing. It really is, but I like that. It's different than the rest, and it does some things very well and it does other things not so well, like the characters, which is a huge hit against it. It is. Because if you don't, it's not that I hate all the characters, I just think they're kind of bland. I think Allison's kind of a bland character. She's fine, but she's very forgettable. But this movie, I think, does a little bit better of a job with her. I liked her the most in this movie. And then even Laurie Strode, she doesn't feel like Laurie. You know what I mean? So I kind of have to I'm like, is this really the same lady from 1978? Sometimes I'm like, I don't know. But I will say this. She is a little bit more of an interesting character. You know what I mean? She is a little bit, she's kind of funny and stuff like that. But, I don't know. Sometimes it takes me out of it just a little bit, but I don't know. I guess she's fine. I guess Laurie's fine. She's fine in these movies. Jamie Lee Curtis, her acting's great. I don't think there's anything wrong with her acting. I just think sometimes the writing fails her a little bit. You know what I mean? But what else can I say? The kills, I'm not going to say who dies. I'm just going to say the kills in general. I thought there were some really great ones. And then one of them actually, I'm not going to say anything, but one of them actually reminded me of Friday the 13th, A New Beginning. One of the kills in that movie actually very similar to that. You'll know when you see it. They're not exactly the same, but they're similar. And then, but it was interesting because there were a lot of kills that did happen off screen. And then there were kills, the ones that they showed, I thought were really well done. But then there were kills that were off screen. It's like, and they kind of kept doing that. And it was like, God, dude, it's like, I get it. Not every kill needs to be on screen. That's fine. But they kind of did it a lot. I mean, it was getting a little annoying, but it was still good. Maybe because of Halloween Kills, of how gory it was, and how many kills there were. Maybe they decided to kind of lighten this one up a bit with that, with showing them on screen and stuff. I don't know, but I thought that was interesting. What else can I say? Just the overall vibe of it was pretty good. I mean, it was just, I thought it was a fairly well written like horror movie. It was nothing special. It was nothing like, oh my god, I can't, you know what I mean? Like, oh, that's so different than this. It had a lot of your typical horror tropes in it, like the group of bullies that rolls up, and it's like, oh god, these shitheads again. Like every horror movie has that. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't know, it has all that, typical kind of stuff, that tropey type stuff, but it's fine because it feels like it should be in there. You know what I mean? It's that kind of, with all these movies, 2018, Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends, like it fits. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when you're watching those old 80s movies and the bullies come and all that stuff. It's like, even though you've seen it a bunch of times, there's something about it that still clicks. It's like, oh yeah, it's kind of fun. It's tropey, but it's fun. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I think that's about it, really, that I can say without spoiling the movie. Like I said, I thought it was, pretty well. I thought the overall look of it was good. I thought there were some good throwbacks in there. Little things that fans will catch, and stuff like that. And I like the ending. I thought the ending was really well handled, and I dug it. I mean, I did. I really enjoyed it. I thought like I said, the second and third act were the strongest parts of the film, honestly. And I enjoyed the new character. You've seen him in the trailers and stuff. I'm not, going to say anything, but you've seen him in the trailers. And but I thought Corey Cunningham did the character of Corey Cunningham, the character. I'm not sure what the actor's name is, but I thought the character was pretty well written, and interesting, for somebody that we haven't seen in the previous two movies. I was a little worried about them just throwing this brand new character into the series. I'm like, really? We're going to introduce a new character in the final movie? But I gotta say, I thought the actor did a really good job, and he was an interesting character. So I'm just looking up his name really quick. Rohan Campbell? Rowan Campbell? Yeah, I thought that actor did a really good job. I don't think I've ever seen him in anything else. He didn't look super familiar. Yeah, I'm looking through IMDb, just seeing if there's anything else. No, I don't really recognize any of these. Yeah, but I thought, for like a fairly unknown actor to me, I thought he did a really good job. Yeah, so that's about it, guys. That's it. I will say, I've got to go watch this movie, a couple more times. It's hard to rate movies when you've just seen them. But if I had to rate it, I guess I would give it like a solid 7 out of 10 right now. It could go up a little bit, it could go down a little bit, but as of right now, I feel pretty good about the movie. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. There are some things, like I said, some things that are kind of tropes, and some of the characters still aren't written very well. They're very generic, kind of whatever characters, but I thought Corey Cunningham was written very well. I thought he was interesting. Allison stepped it up big time for me. I thought Laurie was, really good in this movie too. She had some cool dialogue. So, the directing was on point. Everything else was on point. So, yeah, I'll give it a solid 7 out of 10 for right now. Go check it out. Don't read any reviews or anything that's spoilery. Just go into it. Just go watch the movie. So now, getting into the spoiler portion. Spoilers. So with Corey Cunningham, I thought his character was actually really cool. I didn't want to say it in the non-spoiler review because I don't want to give anything away. But I thought his character was actually pretty cool. I like the psycho, he's like this, like helping Michael Myers kind of a thing. I know that's gonna piss off a lot lot of people, but I like the fact. I think it's interesting. It's something different. It really does remind me of Friday the 13th: A New Beginning. Even the kill that I was talking about, where he takes the blowtorch into the the bully's mouth, and he fucking puts the blowtorch in his mouth. That was like the flare in A New Beginning, where Jason puts the flare into his mouth or whatever. That reminded me so much of that kill. Very cool. But Corey, I liked it because Michael was basically using Corey to bring him food, essentially, like energy. Like he needed to, Michael needed to kill these people to, the more he kills, the more he transcends, like Laurie said in Halloween Kills. He needed that energy boost. So going through and, he's bringing him more people to kill, and Michael's getting stronger, and then they're kind of like working together. I don't know. I dug it. I know it's kind of silly, but I liked it. I like that they did something different finally, because the first movie's great, but it kind of just feels like a retread. It's stuff that we've already kind of seen with Michael. Kills, once again, just a lot of good bloody kills. It was fun, for what it was. Except for the whole hospital scene. That's what I just do not like about Kills, is that fucking hospital scene for the most part. And some of the character writing is kind of silly too. It's just not the best. But with this movie, it's set up well, because it makes sense. Like, okay, if he needs to kill in order to stay strong, then okay, then he gets the help of it. It's like I said, I just like that it was trying something different. I know that, but that whole thing's gonna piss off so many people, because they're gonna be like, Michael doesn't need a fucking partner. Michael just kills, and why does he need Corey? Why didn't he just kill more people when he was still strong? Da, da, da. All these questions, I can't answer any of them. But you know what I mean? You're not wrong if you ask those questions. Like, I'm not saying it makes the most amount of sense. Like, why was he gone for 4 years? Don't know. I can't really answer. It doesn't really answer those questions, but I gotta say, I guess I just don't give a shit. I just take it for what it is. It's just fun. I mean, you could nitpick any movie to death or whatever. Like, it's, you know what I mean? Like, it's just fun. I mean, do you sit there and pick apart all the Friday the 13th movies and all the, like, Nightmare on Elm Street movies? No, because it's fun. It's fun slasher movies. Just take it for what it's giving you. You know what I mean? But like I said, I thought that actor, man, he did a really good job at playing like this creepy psycho, like sadistic. I like that it was this Rowan Campbell guy. I like that he played the like, oh, they're bullying me, they're picking on me, like, oh, feel sorry for me, it's so sad. You know what I mean? He played that very well. But then when he like, switched gears, and became like a killer and was working with Michael, that was all like, whoa, that was pretty cool. It was like, because the thing I loved about it was he still had this like relationship with Allison, so it's like he's got this strong, I liked I thought they had chemistry together. I liked their relationship, so it's like, you're kind of like, it's funny because he's killing all the bullies and he's killing all these people that for the most part are dicks. Like, he killed the doctor as a dick, the nurse that's a dick, all the bullies were dicks. So it's like you don't feel super sorry for any of these people. So in a way, you're rooting for him a little bit because he's just killing like assholes anyway. And you want him to like kind of be with Allison or whatever, and like kind of, they can both kind of start fresh. And it's got like that kind of like, I don't know, there's something about that kind of like 90s feel to it, that 90s like sadistic romantic, like what's that called? What's that movie called? I don't know. It's just got it's just interesting. I like their chemistry together, and I like that he's like the psycho on the side, but with Allison, he's pretty nice and sweet. But then it goes back, and then all of a sudden you just see him like stabbing the doctor to death, and like just friggin' putting the blowtorch to that asshole guy that kept bullying him, put that in his mouth and stuff like that. It's like, so it's like you're seeing all this crazy sadistic shit, but then he's like so sweet with her that it's just like, I don't know, I dug that. I thought that was all very well done. That made the movie. It's funny because I know that's probably gonna piss a lot of people off. That's gonna be stuff that people are probably gonna walk out of this just hating it because they're not gonna like that character. But I think if you give it a chance and just let it be, I think you'll like it. Yeah, you know, natural born killers. That's what I was trying to think of. Like that kind of. Even though the one thing I kind of wish that they had done with this. That's what I was. Yeah, I was trying to think of natural born killers because it's like a couple and they're killing people and but they're charismatic, so you're drawn to them even though they're doing these horrendous things. That's kind of what it reminded me of with Corey's character, or with the character of Corey, I should say. But I kind of wish that they had pushed it one level further and made Allison a killer too. I kind of wish that she had gone dark. And then maybe, what if you ended it like on a dark, fucked up note? Like Allison and Corey kill Laurie. Like maybe Allison kills Laurie, and then Corey like kills Michael, and then they just go on this like, and then you can almost start like a whole new like set of movies or something. I don't know. I mean, I know that sounds crazy. People aren't gonna like that because it's like, you don't fuck with Michael Myers. You don't kill Michael Myers. You don't kill Laurie Strode. But I thought there was this cool Bonnie and Clyde thing that could have happened. It felt like it was almost there. I bet you that was in the writing room. They were thinking about doing that because it feels like there's something there, or this, like I said, natural born killers kind of vibe. And I just wanted that. I wanted them to just take that little extra leap and just go like, fuck it, fuck them, fuck Laurie, fuck Michael, whatever, kill them off. We're gonna do this whole thing. It's gonna be the Corey and Allison show. They just turn into these psycho killers, and maybe he wears the mask. I mean, fuck it. It's Halloween Ends. You might as well just go buck wild with it. But for the ending that we got, I thought it was cool. Laurie takes down Michael. Nice little kitchen fight at the end. And they fucking just throw his ass in that grinder, man. That was so. That were like, what was that thing? A fucking like, it was some kind of grinder. It wasn't. I don't think it was a wood chipper, but it was like a grind. Just something that could like fucking grind anything. Basically, and it just like they just throw Michael's ass in there. I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, okay, good. Now you finally did it right. Because I'm like, okay, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna incinerate him into fucking dust? Because they've set him on fire, but they haven't incinerated him. You know what I mean? So I'm like, maybe they're gonna do that. But nope, they just throw him in the grinder, and that was good. But I like that the mask was still sitting there on the coffee table at the end. I like that a lot. And then I think you could hear like a subtle like breathing in the background, I think, and then it showed the mask. I like that. I thought that was well done. I like the little like, Don't Fear the Reaper when they were doing the credits at the end, but you also heard the Don't Fear the Reaper song in the grocery store very subtly. It was like kind of like it was like a cover of it, but it sounded like something you would hear in a grocery store, but it was Don't Fear the Reaper. They were playing that in there too. There were a lot of little things. But the opening scene, holy shit, when Corey fucking is like trying to kick that door down, and then all of a sudden he just fucking kicks the door open and he hits the kid and he goes flying fucking over the banister and then falls. It was like 3 or 4 fucking stories of that house and then just smacks on the ground. I was like, oh my god. That immediately like got me like into the movie. It was such a great opener. I didn't want to. I couldn't put that in the non-spoiler review either. Like I couldn't even say because I want people to be surprised like I was going into it. But I was like jolted. Like there was some good like editing there because it was just so like he's like kicking, and you're like, okay, he's gonna get the door or whatever. But he just kicked that bitch open and hit the kid and he fucking went down. I was like, oh my god. And then they showed the kid and he's all bloody and shit. I'm like, oh my god. It was that was so well done. That was a fucking great opener. It was. And the opener to Kills was great too. So they've had some really good openers in this trilogy here. And I know it's really like a quadrilogy, I guess, technically, because it's Halloween 1978, and then, but I'm just saying for David Gordon Green, it's his trilogy of these three films. So, um, but yeah, that was fucking great. The kills, the guy, oh my god, the guy that gets killed at the what is that? Not the what is that? When the guy that's the radio station, Jesus Christ, I kept wanting to say news station or something. Yeah, the guy that was at the radio station, he had a great kill too. He just fucking keeps slamming his head into the fucking onto the table, and it busts his jaw, and then he cuts his tongue off and puts it on the fucking record player, so it keeps skipping. Oh my god, dude, that was a brutal kill. That was a good one. That one and the torch scene were both really good. Yeah, so that was good. But there were a lot of kills that were off screen that was kind of driving me crazy. Like at the radio station, the DJ's assistant, the chick that's out there, she gets killed off screen. I mean, you kind of see him fighting in the background a bit, but it's basically off screen. And then there was one of the bully friends, that chick gets killed off screen. The one that gets hit with the pipe, she gets killed off screen. The other bully, the other guy, his like friend or whatever, he gets killed off screen. There were a lot of like off-screen kills. The mother, when Corey goes to kill his mother, that happens off-screen. There were a ton of them. I was like, geez, man. Even the doctor got killed off-screen, technically. I mean, they showed him stabbing him, so I'll give it to him. But he was already dead when they showed it, and then he was just stabbing him. But I'll give it to him because they did show it. But there were a lot of off-screen kills in this. But I don't know, it was good. I enjoyed this movie. I'm sure a lot of people are going to come out not liking it, but I like this a hell of a lot more than I like Kills. I'll say that right fucking now. Like I said, I like Kills a little bit better. After rewatching it, the hospital scene is still fucking stupid. The Evil Dies Tonight is still fucking stupid. But I like it better, So yeah, I think that's about it. I think I covered, like I said, fun time, honestly. If you just take the movie for what it is and just don't go in expecting too much. I like that they switched it up. They gave us something different. So, yeah, I'll take it. I was pleasantly surprised because I didn't know what to think going into this movie. I really liked Halloween 2018. I did not like Kills when I first saw it in theaters. And then I saw this one. I just didn't know what to expect. And I came out of it pretty damn happy. So yeah, I still like 2018's my favorite of this trilogy. I thought it did so much right. And the score in this was good too. It had a good score. Now, I think 2018 did the score the best though. The Halloween score in 2018 was like the best to me. But this film and Kills both also had good scores. I mean, it's John Carpenter. I mean, come on. So yeah, that's about it, guys. Please let me know what you thought about Halloween Ends down below if you've seen. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? Actually, you can let me know what you think of Halloween Ends down below, but please in a non-spoilerly way. In a non-spoiler way. Don't, because I don't want other people to come in and get spoiled in the comment section. So, try to be vague. Leave a thumbs up, subscribe, share the video. I really appreciate everybody that watches. And and that's about it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace out.